Hi guys, I'm back. I forgot I was going to mention this. I have a really dear friend. I know she's watching this. She is very special to me. I will just give you her first name, Karen. And Karen is not a Karen. Karen is an amazing soul, and she's having a bit of an issue at the moment. And so she sent me something in some love mail once. She sent me this beautiful brass box. It's just gorgeous. It's got an armadillo, a deer, a fish, and a sea turtle. And it's got this gorgeous brass lid with that beautiful red lining, and the inside of the box is lined in red. So I am going to use this to do a spell for her to achieve what she needs to achieve right now. I'm trying not to be too descriptive, but so I'm going to do a spell in that jar today, and in that canister today, and I would love it if you guys would join me. That'll be later this afternoon. For now, I want to talk about sacred space and how important it is. I believe that we have to have an area where we can be ourselves, and a lot of us are in the witch's closet, the broom closet, and can't be ourselves in public at all. So in our homes, it's very important to have a place where you can be 100% yourself. That can be a messy witchy room, which mine is so messy right now. Or it can be a closet, and you can be literally in the broom closet. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can be a desk in the corner that you can do some workings on. But you've got to have some type of sacred space to be yourself. I think it's so important. And if you've been watching me a while, you realize how important I think it is. Because when I started doing videos, I had a witchy room in a beautiful house in California. California wasn't beautiful, but the house was. I'm lying. California is beautiful. It's just hard to live there. So I had a witchy room. We moved from California to Texas, and I had no area to be sacred in. And it was taxing on me, very difficult. And then I decided I was going to make the outside area my sacred space. So I actually set up an altar. I kept my oils out there, my candles. And even though it rains in Texas all the time, it worked out well. So I had an outdoor sacred space. And when that was no longer working, because it does rain quite a bit in Texas, and things were getting, my oils were getting messed up because they were outside in the heat, and the candles didn't do so well in the rain and the heat. And so when that happened, my daughter was working at a storage facility, and I got a storage unit and started building a witchy room in my storage unit, a place where I could be sacred, a sacred space, because that's how important to me having an area really is. I have to have that to be myself, to do my workings, to feel my sacred connection with my deity, and so on and so forth. So I started doing it in a storage unit. Well, then we moved and we got a house where I could have a witchy room again. So I moved out of the storage unit and made a witchy room. And then we moved again. We moved into a little tiny 500 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment. My buddy and I did. And so I built a sacred space there in the living room, because we don't have tons of company. And when we do, we sit outside because we do smoke. And so the living room wasn't an important aspect of a house for us. A visiting area wasn't an important aspect for us. And we keep our TV in the bedroom anyway. We don't either of us believe in having a TV in the living room where you can disrupt visiting. So it wasn't an issue. So I had my sacred space in the living room. And then we moved again. And this time we ended up with a 2-bedroom. Ta-da, witchy room. The luck of it is I also have sacred space in the dining room because that's where I do my workings, my herbal workings and so on. And there's another change coming. We don't use our living room. And so I'm going to expand my sacred space to include my living room. Because I've got 2 hutches in the dining room, clear full of herbs. I've got a box sitting here that is huge, and it's full of herbs. And this is just not, it's not functional for sacred space. I mean, my room is just so cramped. And I've got, let's see, my Hecate altar, my dark altar, my Bastet altar, my healing altar, my ancestor altar, and my animal altar, all in one little tiny bedroom. So it's not working. So again, sacred space is expanding. So the point that I'm making is, especially if you're in the broom closet, you've got to have a sacred space. You've got to have somewhere where you can be yourself, where you can manifest, where you can meditate, where you can conceal your work, not from the outside, but for yourself. So you have this private connection with the spirit you're working with the deity you're working with. And you need that. You really do. Sacred space is important. And it doesn't matter, again, if it's a closet, a corner in the bathroom, a corner in the dining room, a desk in the living room. It doesn't matter where it's at, but you've got to have some sacred space. Now, what makes it sacred? Well, it's where you do your workings. It's where you do your manifesting. It's where you do your meditating. It's where you do your learning, your studying. Remember that just because we are witches and we've been in practice for 30 or 50 years doesn't mean we're done learning. We learn constantly. I just got a new book. I'm trying to remember the name. It's escaping me, but I am going to review it. It does so far seem to be a great book. It is a type of frame, scholastic framework for working with Hecate. It's kind of a course, if you will, for working with Hecate. And extremely impressive book. I don't know that I want to take a year and a half to get through it because it's a course, but I'm learning. I'm learning a lot about working with my deity, and being new to the deity thing, because I spent 30 years of my life not attached to any deity. So being new to that, I'm finding this book to be very informative and helpful, because I've literally just been kind of winging it working with the deity, because I have no experience. This is my first go around. So I'm finding it to be very informative. So I will get the name of that book for you and write it down. But sacred space is important. I hope you have a place that you can make yours. Again, it doesn't matter the size. It doesn't matter how secluded it is. It just matters that it's yours and you're comfortable there. I know at one point I used a cushion in the corner of the living room in an apartment that we lived in. And that was okay. That worked. That worked for me. So it doesn't matter where it is, how big it is, but try to have a sacred space. Try to give yourselves a sacred space. It is important. And you will be amazed at the difference in the workings you can do and the freedom that you feel when you have a space that's all dedicated to just your magics. And so I hope this video was helpful. I love you guys with all my heart and soul. You are divine, sacred beings of light and love. Please don't ever forget that. You really are. We all are divine, sacred, and we're beings of light and love. Don't forget it. I love you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.